welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be testing out some products that kind of got like their second chance, products that originally when they were released I guess weren't at their best and the companies decided to redo them. And on top of that, in this video, the palette I'm using I actually used in a previous video where it was one of my first times trying the technique that I used. So it wasn't my best, but at the time I was super proud of it. It's not some of my favorite work I've ever done, but I figure everyone has to start from somewhere, and it's my copper holiday makeup tutorial. I posted it in December of 2016, and yeah, it's just not my favorite look, so I did recreate that. I like this much better than I like the original. Yeah, it was fun to recreate the look, and I will leave a picture of the look that I'm recreating right here in case you've never seen it. So if you want to see how I got this look and kind of see my thoughts on some of these products that wanted their like second chance in makeup, then keep on watching. I already have one eye done and I do like how it came out. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the other eye. So I did prime this eye and then start putting the shade Sandalwood in it and then realized I wasn't recording, so sorry, but you really didn't miss much. So I'm taking Sandalwood on an M441 brush and just swooping that in my eye, and I'm bringing it pretty far over into here. So for today's eye look, I'm using the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. And the funny thing about this look, it's actually a look, well, it's pretty similar to a look that I did back in, I want to say 2016, but I used the Huda Beauty Textured Shadow Palette, which looks like this. And then this was kind of like her like redo of this palette. And some of the shades are different, and like all those textured shades are now just like shimmery shades. So I'm doing a halo eye again, just obviously with many more years of practicing eyeshadow. And I'm following the steps that I can with this look. Some of the shades are different. I think the look was like copper burgundy eye or something like that. But that's what it was supposed to be. And you can see this is definitely pink because I tried to go in with the shade I originally used years ago and it's just not the same. Another shade that is still the same is Maneater. And I'm taking it on a Morphe M433 brush. And I'm just going to start working that into the crease. And this palette does have a lot of kick up when you tap your brush into it, so not a big deal, but I don't really notice a ton of fallout. And I'm just gonna start kind of pressing that into the corners and then swooping it up, leaving the middle bare, and then pressing it on the inner corner. So I was kind of thinking back to when I filmed this, and it was kind of when like cut creases and halo eyes were like getting really popular, and it just wasn't something that I really had a lot of knowledge on. So to be honest, to watch that video and just see how bad I feel like the eyeshadow looks, it makes me cringe. It was actually the first time I'd ever tried a halo eye too. And the reason I've never taken it down is because I obviously posted it and I can remember being proud of it. So I've always left it up just because it's part of the whole, like, everyone's got to start somewhere. And yeah, so I'm just taking a clean brush and going along the edges. So I am taking it pretty far into the inner corner, definitely past like my natural inner corner crease. So in my original tutorial, the next shade I went in with was Bossy, which was this like deep burgundy color. Bossy did not make it to the new palette, and this Risque shade is just too purple. On this eye, I did cut it with concealer and stuff, and I think that's kind of what helped make it so vibrant. So I'm gonna do it again on this eye. And I'm gonna be pretty sloppy with laying down my concealer just because the pink shade is definitely gonna show up. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a lighter base to kind of work on top of. But yeah, so I'm taking the pink diamond shade first on my finger and just patting it on. Like, look at that. So pretty. And I'm just gonna keep patting it on. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that for now. I might touch it up a little bit more. And this is kind of where it's gonna get a little bit tricky for me because I was a little frustrated on this side first just because the Trust Fund shade wasn't working. I was kind of like, take the shade Cocoa in the palette, which is this brown shade. This is not what I did in the original look at all. And I don't care if the shimmer comes over a little bit. Like, I don't want it to be like super like just saturated in that one area. I'm okay with some of the sparkle going towards the outer corner and all that kind of stuff, so. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Black Truffle. Which I really feel like the black really brought this look like more together. And I'm just gonna take a little bit smaller of a detail brush and just get in there. And on a clean brush, I'm gonna go in and just kind of really blend this black in. So I'm just gonna keep blending until everything kind of looks the way I want it. So I'm gonna go back into that pink diamond shade and just kind of touch everything up. And then go back in with black and just kind of blend the edges of that a little bit more. Alright, so I'm gonna go add my mascara and lash on this eye and then I'll be right back to start the face. Alright, so I went ahead and primed my skin using my normal primers because the foundation I'm gonna go in with is actually something that kind of has been done before earlier last year, and this was kind of like their like redo at it, and it is the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. Now they originally came out with the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation and they came out with two formulas, a matte one and a hydrating one. And they kind of just missed the mark with this. You know, people were not happy with it. They weren't happy with the colors. I'm pretty sure people weren't very happy with the formula. So it was just kind of a miss. So them coming out with this, I feel like is their like second chance to try that foundation out. This is the one I have and I hope the shade's right. I kind of just like swatched a few, but I was also in the stores. And this one has a pump, which is awesome because their first one had like a doe foot applicator, very similar to like kind of how their concealer's packaged, just like jumbo size. So I know there's a few foundations like this, but they're not the most sanitary. Anyways, this one has a pump and I have the shade Light Sand, which looks a little dark, but we'll make it work. So it says this is long wearing full coverage with a natural matte finish. It's transfer proof, waterproof, and sweat proof. And it has all these other things in it. And it's $39 and has 50 shades. So it doesn't feel really heavy on my skin and the color is not like great, but it's definitely going to work. And I'm gonna go on the brush and yeah, this is like a really thick foundation. So it definitely has really good coverage. So it's a thicker foundation. It's a little bit harder to like spread around. So I feel like I've used more of it and put more in spots that I normally wouldn't put it, just because I don't feel like it spreads around super easy. So I like it on my forehead and on my cheeks. I think it looks nice, has really good coverage. I don't like it in this region. Like this is where I get the cakiest in my smile lines, above my lip, and on the edges of my nose. And I just don't feel like it looks that good there. Like definitely looks cakey and it's already starting to crease there. And I'm using another product that kind of got redone and it's from Tarte too. It is the Creaseless Concealer. Now, years and years ago, this used to be in a tube. I never personally used it because at the time, a tube concealer was just not something I was interested in, and it's still not something I gravitate towards, but I'm not like intimidated by them like I was when I first started makeup. Yeah, so I have this. I've had it for a little bit now and just haven't really used it. And I have the shade Porcelain Sand, which I hope isn't like insanely light. So it's really thick, so I'm going to blend one eye out at a time. And because of how thick it is, it leads me to believe that it's the same formula that it may have been in the tube years ago. So I went and wet another sponge just because I really like my Flower Beauty one. I did a full face of Flower Beauty, I think last week, so I'll leave that linked somewhere on the screen if you want to check that out. But I feel like that sponge is really, really soft, and I feel like I need a little bit more of a stiffer, stronger sponge to blend this concealer out. So I'm gonna add this to the other eye just to even it out, but I'm gonna go in with a different concealer on top of it just because this one isn't the right tone for me. And it has good coverage. It definitely has like a luminous finish to it. Alright, so I'm gonna go set my face and do my brows and bronzer and contour, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but this whole area looks awful. Makeup is blending so bad on top of my skin, and it looks like there's like no makeup here. Like I put blush here so it's a little red, but a lot of this is my natural redness coming through, and it just looks like all the bronzer, and like this is my normal bronzer and stuff I use all the time. It looks like it's like seeped into every like pore I have, and all my makeup is just settling into my pores. And it's like the foundation didn't settle into my like pores, but the makeup I'm putting on top of it is. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm actually going to wipe this face makeup off before I do my lower lash line, just because I do have somewhere to go after this, so I can't really have my face makeup looking like terrible. So I'm gonna wipe this off and restart. So when I come back, I'm gonna have a full different face of makeup on, and I'll just be back to finish up the lower lash line. All right, so I went in and fixed my face makeup. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that was bizarre. So I'm taking my black Pixie liner and running it in my lower waterline. Wow. Now I'm gonna take a pencil brush in the shade Maneater and run that along the lower lash line. And I don't know if it was the foundation, the concealer, a combination of both, but I'm definitely gonna have to keep trying those out on their own just to see like what in the heck that was, because it was super weird. I don't know if the camera is gonna pick it up, but it was not cute. So I'm taking Cocoa and just running that along the lower lash line too. I'm gonna take a fluffier brush and just kind of blend all of that out. So I'm taking a flat brush and taking the black and just going on the outer corner with it and kind of fading that in. And now I'm gonna add some lower lash mascara. And for lips, I'm just gonna be using the new combination I've been loving, which is the Maybelline Gigi Hadid lip liner, and I still don't know how to pronounce this. This is like 3 videos now. Tora? I don't know. The Lamarck Liquid Lip in Fawn Over Me. And I'm gonna throw the NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie on top of it, because I can't find the gloss that I have been using. Alright, so this is the completed look. I'm much more happy with how these eyes came out the second time around. So let me just quickly kind of go over this, and you know, this is the old one, the like textured one, and this is the new one. So obvious difference. The packaging is different. I definitely like the packaging of this one better. It's sturdier, has a mirror, and this one's just clear. So the thing is the shimmers in these are pretty dull except for the new ones. Pink Diamond was new, Moon Dust was new, Bubbly was new, and I really like those. But all the colors that used to be the textured ones, I felt like were better textured instead of these, because I feel like they were like really weak shimmers. But yeah, I mean, I do like the palette. It's kind of one of those things, it's like if it's worth it to you to buy the second one, do it. But definitely like some of her other palettes more, but this wasn't a palette I was reaching for a ton anyways. So I really only got this to retry this look using the new formula. And yeah, I like the new shimmers that have been added. I think they're great, but the mattes were pretty much the same, and I like the mattes in the original palette. They perform the same, so it's not a bad thing. but I don't really feel like it needed to be remade, you know? All right, the next 2 items, this concealer, I have really mixed feelings about this concealer. So one, I think I would need a different shade in this concealer, so maybe I'll try mixing it, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It just, I don't know what was happening right here. Like the makeup was worn away, so I don't know if maybe this is so thick and creamy that it's almost oily, and that's what, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm definitely gonna have to test out the concealer more. And the foundation, so one, I'm just gonna say, I don't really feel like anyone wanted a redo of this, and I don't know what happened to my skin when this was on it. I'm definitely gonna have to keep trying this one out because that was the weirdest thing. I don't think I've ever had a foundation really do that, where it like made everything, it made everything I was putting on top settle. And it's like, as I was putting on product, it was rubbing away at the coverage in just the strangest way. I've never had a foundation really do that, so definitely gonna have to keep trying this out. I don't know if maybe it was something with some of the skincare I had on or the primers, or I don't know what happened. I really don't. Like, it was just a bizarre thing. So I'm definitely going to have to keep trying this out. And on top of that, I do feel like it's very, very drying, because the areas that it looked okay in when I wiped it off, they just looked very dry, and my skin felt very dry and just dehydrated. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below before you leave so you don't miss any of my other future uploads, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.